Boy, does that ever take me back to the old, let's see, well, it wasn't the Valley High Lounge, but it was the old Harley Hotel, the lobby bar down there where they had this old jukebox. Mike, why are we playing The Great Pretender?
Well, it's not because when I was in the, back long ago, I used to work down the Jersey Shore, Summer Point, Margate, Dune Till Dawn. Bar, I was there either as the bouncer or the bartender, and actually, that's when we had the Jersey Boys were in, I think I was working at Tony Mart's and they were playing in Tony Mart's, but I mean, I was playing there in the mid-'60s, and you couldn't have asked for a better show of future famous musicians, because they all came down from Dick Clark American Bandstand sitting there. So it was great. You met a lot of these individuals, and to see where they went was, pretty unique. And that's why I still get a kick watching the Jersey Boys, because they were playing right in the bar where we were.
Okay. Of course, The Great Pretender. Now, who are we playing that for?
Now, we're trying to label our politicians with songs. And I think, who would be, this day and age, the Great Pretender?
Now, let me get this in review. We've had the Dancing Queen for our dear and glorious president. The Jordanians get the Warrior King. We get the Dancing Queen.
Very appropriate.
Yep. I'm a Loser for Hillary Clinton.
Oh, that's too obvious. Everybody would have guessed that one.
Crying Over You for all the liars.
Oh, I know. We altered that to Lying Over You in honor of Pelosi and Reid.
Yep. And The Great Pretender for
the guy with the bouffant haircut, the swinging single, John Kerry. Hey, John, here's a guy. Can you imagine the money he spends in the hotels and the food and everything? He gets absolutely nothing done. This agreement with Iran now is becoming, and I say this in all seriousness, it's a horrifying joke on the American public, and I pray that this thing doesn't get through, because we will be sold a package of goods. And then we'll talk a little bit later about.
You heard what the Ayatollah said lately.
Oh, yeah.
No, you're not.
The situation becomes untenable after that.
They couldn't make it any clearer what they want to do. It's kill you.
Yeah.
What in the world is going on with these people?
It's ridiculous.
But he is the Great Pretender.
The Great Pretender. All right.
If these were pro wrestler entrance themes, I'd say they all fit quite well.
Yeah, they do. All right, that's right. So the no pretenders around here, so let's go to our phone calls right now. And you can be a part of the show, too, 407-774-8255. We'll go to Eva first, and I'm going to have to ask you guys to make it kind of quick because we're coming up on a break here shortly. Eva, thanks for calling. The Great Pretender?
Yeah, you could sum them all up. You could put them all in there. I agree with you. When I thought of that, I'm thinking...
Yeah, you're right, though. Yeah, go ahead. Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's a... Yeah, Yeah, you're absolutely right, Eva. Thank you for your call. We appreciate you being out there. You make a great point. And what she's saying is, because of the lackluster economy, the cost of a living adjustments have been minuscule for Social Security.
And remember,
but the cost of living is still going up.
Right. And it leaves, but they leave food out. I don't know how they come up with the figure. I really don't, honestly.
It's so arbitrary, it's ridiculous. As a matter of fact...
You mean like the unemployment rate?
Yeah,
it's the same deal.
No.
That's book cooking if I've ever seen it.
And the government agency that does the GDP numbers has just admitted that there are various discrepancies.
Oh,
yes.
What a surprise.
Yeah. All right, let's go to Al now about the minimum wage. Al. Well, yeah, go ahead. You've been reading too much of Marx there, Al. No, too much automation will mean is we'll all be sitting around on our butts looking for those government handouts and be worthless individuals. We'll be worthless before the eyes of the Lord because we will be just nothing but sponges. No, and as far as the minimum wage goes, the minimum wage will disappear when our economy collapses because of the overburden of the minimum wage and other, government intrusions into
this Utopia, isn't that a total opposite?
I cringe, but I just think about what you're saying is here is.
And I want to get to your point number one too, but go ahead, Mike.
Entrepreneurship, as we discussed on Tuesday, the problem is it's actually flattening out now because this burden is so much, and then you throw this in on top of it. They have to be planning this. This is insane that these people continue on.
Al, can I ask you a question? Are you a business owner, or have you ever run a business? Okay, have you paid people? All right.
Legally?
All right. Do you think that it was better for you to decide what they should be paid or for the government to tell you without even knowing what you do? And also, did you pay a market rate? In other words, did you pay them according to what they could have earned somewhere else? Okay, so there it is. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. See, it's much better. It's much left in your hands as the employer and the marketplace. Leave the government out of it, and we'll all be so much better off for it. Because you know what, Al? I trust you to make the decision better than the government. Because you're the man. Because you're the man. Because most of the people who are going to vote on this don't know what you know from experience, and that is what it's like to make a payroll, and they don't have the economic knowledge to understand
what the damage can be.
Exactly. But Al, I appreciate your call, but I got to let you go. But thanks, and God bless you for being an entrepreneur, being a business owner in America, because that really is what it is all about. And yeah, actually, the new businesses are now less than the businesses that are closing. So we're going in the wrong direction.
And to add to that, about the same number of people that are working today are on Social Security.
And we have more people than...
How's that going to work?
More people than last time we had this many people out of the job market, 93 million people. Last time we had that percentage of our population out of the job market was when Jimmy Carter was president. That's the bad news. But here's the good news. Look what happened when Ronald Reagan came in and made a few adjustments, so to speak, and brought a different attitude to government. So how we go?
Look, again, here we go. The government, how many people in the top 4 or 5 clowns are hey, here's another song, Here Comes the Clowns. But when you look at we got to get that one rolling. Here Comes the Clowns, and introduce Susan Rice and the rest of them. But the point is, how many of them actually worked in business? The answer is none of them.
Yeah.
None of them.
That's it.
So when somebody comes in there, another liberal, he convinces them because they don't have either the training or the acumen or their ideology.
Yeah.
And this is the problem. But it's so concerning over the next 3-4 years because we've been running at about a 1.7% GNP, and we got to be running over 3 or higher if we're going to get jobs really rolling for the American people.
You need about 2.5% just to keep up.
Right.
Just to basically be treading water. And then you need more than that if you're going to grow.
Well, now, wait a minute. How can we do that if we ship jobs overseas?
Isn't that what the Republicans are trying to do?
Well, then we're going to have that communist utopia that Al was talking about.
We'll never have to work again.
Al, the prophet of our time.
Yeah, there you go. All right, don't forget, we are up on the Periscope, and he's putting everything right up on YouTube. So go to our channel, American Adversaries TV at YouTube. That way you can see what we're doing here, as well as hear us in the studio. All right, don't forget, when we come back, we're going to have a tribute to a fellow that roomed with Mike McBath on the Buffalo Bills as a Memorial Day tribute. We got a lot more to talk about. We got an audience participation thing that we're going to ask your help with a little bit later on in the show. So we got a lot to do. Don't forget, Memorial Day, we will be off. Hope you folks will celebrate. We'll remember it as well.
Well, folks, just remember the movie The Time Machine. It was the Morlocks and the Eloi. And these people want us to run around and somebody else to feed us, but then the Morlocks always eat us.